Coming up on OU Nightly, the House rejects a bill funding the DHS, what it means for already frustrated travelers. And major traffic changes in Norman this weekend, which roads you won't be able to take. Plus, PGA Tour star Tiger Woods involved in a rollover crash tonight, what we know now. This is OU Nightly. Breaking news out of Washington tonight, President Trump signing an executive order funding the TSA after Congress fails to agree on a spending package. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Clay Webster.
And I'm Caroline Kramer. This executive order could pay TSA workers as soon as Monday. Over 61,000 TSA workers have called out of work after missing their paychecks. This has caused long lines at national airports as air passengers wait for hours to board their flights as of today. Those missed paychecks now total $1 billion across all of TSA. We will continue to follow as this develops.
And after a warm and windy week, now it's cold and rainy here in Norman.
OU Nightly's Carlin McCreary is in the studio tracking the big change. Carlin?
That's right, y'all. We've had some big changes throughout the day today. I want you to look how different our temperatures were today compared to yesterday. We had temperatures in Oklahoma City right around 91 degrees. We broke a record here in Norman, but that temperature right now up there, 61. So we're just about 30 degrees cooler than what we saw this time yesterday because of that cold front that moved through. It's caused our winds to kick up. It's caused those temperatures to be on the lower side as well. Here's what we're looking at across the state right now. We're sitting right at 59 here in Norman, 61 in Oklahoma City. Some areas to the southeast a little bit cooler because they do have some cloud cover over there that is continuing to persist throughout parts of the afternoon. Another thing, it feels like spring, but that problem has been the allergies. A lot of people have been sniffling, sneezing. I know I've been struggling with it. Those tree pollen allergies are very high right now, and we're actually one of the highest levels in the country for that here in Oklahoma. But coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to talk about that red flag warning that we have right now, some fire weather persisting, and warm temperatures incoming, guys.
And with that fire weather in mind, Oklahoma Forestry Services releasing their fire situation report today. The report includes the latest data from recent fires across the state. This includes 707 acres burned in northeastern Oklahoma, 1,271 acres in east central Oklahoma, and 107 acres in southeastern Oklahoma.
And the Cleveland County burn ban is set to expire Monday. This ban has been in effect since March 16th. Burn bans prohibit people from burning things like leaves, tree branches, and other green material.
The Artsy Learning Academy is currently being held at Crosspoint Church in Norman off of 24th Avenue until they can find a new space. The academy burned down March 15th due to the high winds in Norman, and they say now they are relying on the community for help while they find a place to permanently relocate. Artsy has been in Norman since 2013 and is an art-based school for children ages 2 to 12.
It's really amazing to see how much of the community has stepped up and how much heart is in Artsy is really what's come from all of this.
No one was at the school when the fire occurred, and all students and teachers are safe. OU Nightly's Nikki Womack will have more on this story next week.
New today, a Norman woman arrested by the Oklahoma Department of Corrections. The DOC announcing Norman resident Melita Chow was arrested at the Great Plains Correctional Center in Hinton. During a routine pat-down, officials found a package containing phone chargers, tobacco, THC wax, and meth. Chow was booked into the Caddo County Detention Center and is charged with trafficking illegal drugs and bringing contraband into a jail.
And happening now, the city of Norman is beginning construction on East Franklin Road Northeast. The road will close for asphalt repairs and is expected to take 1 day to complete. The detour route through Indian Hills Road will be available for commuters. The city is asking for drivers to use caution while in the area. And the Oklahoma State Firefighters Association plans to honor Goldsby firefighter Todd Pendleton, who was killed in a crash 2 weeks ago while responding to a fire in McLean County. The group is releasing details for his service on their Facebook. Service will be held at 10 a.m. on Saturday, March 28th at Victory Church here in Norman off of 4343 North Flood Avenue. For more parking details, head to the Oklahoma State Firefighters Association's Facebook page.
Oklahoma voters have less than 5 days to change their political party affiliation ahead of the state's primary elections. The deadline to be able to change your party is on Tuesday, March 31st. However, any changes submitted after this deadline will not take effect until September 1st. Coming up, a high-profile cyber breach tied to the federal official.
What was taken and why experts say it may not be exactly what it seems.
And I'm outside of the football stadium on campus where it looks like Greek preview is just finishing up. But come Sunday morning, we're going to have a totally different atmosphere. I'll let you know why after the break.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Be right there. Wait.
Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
No, no, no. Turn it down. Turn it off. Get a hand. Lose the bells and whistles. Drive without distractions.
Stormin in Norman will host a half marathon and 5K around parts of campus and Norman this weekend.
Our very own Chief Meteorologist Aiden Bruns is at the start right now, and I heard she's also going to be there on Sunday. Aiden, what's the forecast looking like?
Yeah, guys, I'm going to be out here Sunday morning running that Stormin and Norman half marathon. It starts at 7 a.m. and the 5K shortly after at 7:15. And runners are going to take off right behind me in front of the football stadium. It's pretty chilly out here right now, but come Sunday afternoon, we're expecting highs in the low 80s. So a little bit nicer, but race morning going to be a little bit cooler, better running weather, going to be in the 40s around start time, warming up pretty quickly after the sun comes up into the 50s. The only thing to look out for is that Oklahoma wind. So I'm going to say good luck to all the runners. I'll see you there, and I'll send things back to the studio.
Aiden, thank you. We now turn to Washington, where lawmakers are still at odds over funding for the Department of Homeland Security. OU Nightly's Gracie Steinbrink has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
Caroline, the House GOP rejects a Senate-passed bill funding most of DHS except ICE, likely extending the partial government shutdown. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson says the Republican Party won't have any part of the Democrat plan. He says the House GOP will move forward with its own plan to fully fund the agency with President Trump's support. Hackers linked to Iran accessed FBI Director Kash Patel's personal emails and photos. The hackers posted photos and stole emails that look like they're from around 2011 to 2022, including Patel's personal business and travel correspondence. Experts say this isn't an FBI compromise. The U.S. Treasury plans to put Trump's signature on all new U.S. paper money. This is a first since traditionally it's the Treasury Secretary and the Treasurer's signature, not the President's. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says they're making this change in honor of America's 250th anniversary. And Tiger Woods was in a rollover car crash in Florida at around 2 p.m. today. Local police report that although Woods is okay, he is being charged with a misdemeanor DUI. Police note that Woods was not under the influence of alcohol. Caroline Kay.
Spring is about to get a whole lot more colorful in Oklahoma City,
where thousands of blooms are taking over one popular spot.
a fun activity everyone can enjoy coming up.
Water is our most precious resource, and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. And if you've been outside at all today, you have seen and felt the wet and windy conditions, replacing our warm and dry ones.
OU Nightly meteorologist Carlin McCreary joins us here at the desk. And Carlin, there are big changes coming for our weekend.
That's right, y'all. I mean, did you walk out? I walked outside this morning and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to bring my sweatshirt back out. I loved the 90 degrees yesterday. It was absolutely amazing. A good time for people to be out across campus. But yeah, this weekend we're warming right back up into those warmer temperatures. So that's something I'm excited about. I know y'all probably are too. What are y'all gonna do with these warmer temperatures? Do you have anything planned?
I've been walking a lot recently.
Okay, walking, me too, honestly. I've been trying to get out and walk, but it's gonna be great temperatures to do so right now. You might wanna grab the jacket if you do head out the door because those temperatures are on the cooler side. We are sitting right around 61 in Oklahoma City, 60 degrees in Norman. So some areas just a little bit cooler than what we usually see this time of year. But other than that, a lot of people are still in the 50s for the most part. It's because we have had some cloud cover stick around in southeastern parts of the state. But I want you to look just how prominent that cold front was that did make its way through. I want you to look at areas like Shreveport compared to Norman Shreveport, right around 82 degrees. That's where that cold front is set up, and it is also cooling us down here. So it caused that air to blow from the north and cool us down quite a bit. Here it is right here. It's bringing some rainfall to parts like the Ohio River Valley. But as I said, those temperatures are going to start to cool down there as the time continues today and even into tomorrow. Our lows tonight are going to be close to freezing for some areas, especially in northern Oklahoma. I want you to look at Enid, and Woodward, 32 degrees up there. For us here in Norman, that low temperature right around 43. So right around average for this time of year as we go into the rest of this evening and into the overnight tonight. We do have some cloud cover that started to dissipate as we've continued throughout parts of the afternoon and evening. I want you to notice how it's much clearer in the northwestern part of the state. That's also contributing to our current humidity being a lot lower up there as well. So current humidity, relative humidity values right now, we're right around 27% in Norman. This is something that contributes to that fire danger that we saw today and we could see as we go throughout the week next week. Something else that contributes to that is those wind gusts. You can see the max wind gusts we've seen since midnight, right around 45 miles per hour in Oklahoma City, 44 here in Norman. Look to our southwest though. Some areas up to 57 miles per hour for those wind gusts near Lawton. So that is contributing to that chance to see fire danger continuing throughout parts of this afternoon and into next week. Here are those wind alerts right now. Some areas in a wind advisory continuing until 7 p.m. tonight. We also do still have that red flag warning extending from central towards western Oklahoma. That lasts until 9 p.m. tonight, actually, as we go throughout the rest of this afternoon and evening. We are watching a chance, as I said, into the middle of next week to see that chance for near critical fire danger. Today we did have that critical fire danger risk as we continued throughout the afternoon today. That's going to start to die off as we go into the rest of this evening, though, once that sun starts to set and the wind gusts start to die down as well. Here are those current temperatures for the next week or so. You could see 85 by Monday, 81 on Sunday, 82 on Tuesday. We're bringing the 80s right back, so they are going to be on the way once we get through today and tomorrow. Those cooler temperatures after that cold front, we are warming up, so the temperatures really, we're going to get right back to above average temperatures. It's really not going to change that much compared to what we saw this past week or so. So here's your 7-day forecast. You can see we've got sunshine continuing throughout Sunday, Monday, and even into Tuesday. Our next rain chance we're looking at, though, is going to be Tuesday into Wednesday with a front that's going to move through. Guys, back to you.
Well, if you're looking to stop and smell the flowers, this is your sign.
Tulip Fest returns to the Myriad Gardens this weekend with thousands of bright flowers blooming in downtown OKC. The festival will begin tomorrow and go through next Sunday, with live music, food trucks, and plenty of picture-perfect views.
Such a fun way to spend time with friends and family.
Coming up in sports, OU women's basketball is heading to the Sweet 16 for the second year in a row.
Find out how they plan to get into full bloom before taking on a familiar opponent, who they beat earlier in the year. Hear about this and more after the break.
Winter is upon us, and every Oklahoman knows that that means unpredictable freezing temperatures. One of the main concerns with freezing temperatures is the damage they can cause to your home or business should they cause your water pipes to freeze over. Older homes, especially those without proper insulation or that have basements or crawl spaces with exposed pipes, are particularly susceptible to this. Here is Rachel Croft, City of Norman Water Treatment Plant Manager, to show you the proper steps you can take to prevent your pipes from freezing.
The good news is you don't need to run a whole lot of water in order to combat freezing from your pipes. Here's how you do it. Another thing that you can do to help is to open your cabinet doors to make sure that warm air throughout your home is getting to your faucet pipes. But you want to make sure to remove any harmful chemicals that any small children or pets could have the ability to reach.
Following these steps can help save money on your water bill and help to conserve Norman's water supply.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hello and welcome to Big Friday Sports. I'm Chris Holman. I'm joined at the desk by Hunter Cornejo.
It's March, which means one thing, madness. And Oklahoma women's basketball is still dancing in the Sweet 16. OU Nightly sports reporter Peyton Davis has more on the Sooners.
Just to ensure it doesn't. Was that me? I hope not. I muted the mic. No. She's like, it's not you.
It was tight the whole way with South Carolina leading at the half, but the game goes to overtime where Leah Chavez goes off. 15 points, 12 of them with 4 threes. OU takes down the Gamecocks 94-82, giving South Carolina one of only 3 losses during the regular season. Here's both teams' coaches on the March Madness rematch.
What I think about South Carolina is that you don't get just this year's team. You get the history of South Carolina. You get their experience that's unmatched. To me, they're very, very well balanced. They're a team that is used to the moment. And you never get to play this year's team at this time. You're playing a lot of history there.
We're not motivated by we're avenging a loss. We're motivated by advancing. So it's not like, oh, they beat us last time, let us do this or that. It's survive and advance. It is to have more points than they do.
And the winner of tomorrow's game will advance to the Elite Eight. And last week, Houston was in Oklahoma City for March Madness. They were in their 8th straight March Madness appearance, and I caught up with the staff that Sooner fans have a lot of fond memories of. Oklahoma City hosted the first and second rounds of March Madness for the first time since 2016. And while the Oklahoma Sooners were not in attendance like a decade ago, the OU ties remained strong with the Houston Cougar staff of the Sampson family and Hollis Price.
Man, I'm from Oklahoma. I went to elementary, middle, high school, college, grad school. I'm an Oklahoman, and so to be back, that does my Oklahoma heart really well.
Kellen and Lauren are both University of Oklahoma graduates. They were raised with Boomer Sooner. I'm a Cougar, man, but I always have a little Sooner blood in me.
4 Sooners on our staff. And, once you become a Sooner, you're always a part of it. Just sticks with you.
The Sooners currently have 6 jerseys retired for their basketball program, but Houston assistant coach Kellen Sampson believes that his fellow assistant Hollis Price deserves to have his jersey hanging from the rafters in Norman.
You're talking about a guy that's deserving. He wore that jersey the way that it's supposed to be worn. When you bring people into Lloyd Noble or whatever the new arena will be called when it's time, and they look up in the rafters and they see the name Price, everybody can feel really good that he wore it the way we would all want it to be worn.
I leave that up to the people who make the decisions. Coach Sampson, I'm blessed to still be with this guy. Chose to play for him way in 1998, and now it's 2026, and I'm still with him. That tells you that I made the right decision on coming to Oklahoma.
After advancing to play back home in Houston, the Cougars fell in the Sweet 16 last night, 65-55 versus Illinois. From the Paycom Center, Hunter Cornejo, OU Nightly.
OU softball's legendary pitching coach Jennifer Rocha has been away from the team this season due to a health concern, but announced yesterday that she's ready to make her return to the Crimson and Cream.
I'm happy to report that I'm cancer-free, and I will be returning to the field very soon. And so again, I had a wonderful circle of friends that were helping me and supporting me through this, along with my family. And so I'm just so grateful to be able to have the opportunity to represent Oklahoma.
What great news to hear from Jennifer Rocha. OU softball heads down to the Bayou this weekend for a top 20 showdown with the LSU Tigers. Sooners have won 21 straight games in large part due to stellar pitching, which has impressed Patty Gasso.
I am really pleased with what happened out there. They did a really great job of doing what we've asked them or their expectations. They did it with poise. They did it with control. So we've got options, really good options, and we're continuing to try to bring in more.
OU baseball crossed the Red River for a top 10 matchup against Texas, and it's safe to say that Texas tipped the Sooners' wagon. The Longhorns jumped out to a quick 4-0 lead in the first inning and never looked back. Run ruined Oklahoma 14-0 in 7 innings, which is the largest shutout in series history. OU will look to even the series in Game 2 with first pitch at 7 o'clock tonight.
And staying on the diamond, former Sooner star Cade Horton will make his season debut for the Chicago Cubs tomorrow afternoon versus the Washington Nationals. Last season, the Norman native finished second in the National League Rookie of the Year race.
One Sooner team is dusting off the pads to kick off their new season.
And OU football took the field for their first spring practice. Hear from Brent Venables and his thoughts on Team 132 coming up after the break.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use it to water houseplants. Also, soak your pots and pans instead of letting the water run while you scrape them. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
Big Friday sports. It might not be August, but OU football is back in action.
Brent Venables and Team 132 started spring football this week. And for a team trying to return to the college football playoff, it's all about showing improvement each day.
Today was better than yesterday, and that's what you want. You want just to focus on daily improvement and focus on a elite mindset and elite processes and challenge the guys. The coach has done a really nice job of challenging the guys again, not taking any of that for granted, and then developing the leadership of this football team.
We still got a lot of work to do. Like, we weren't the very best defense. We didn't have the most turnovers. Like, there's still spots we want to get better at. Like, we're trying to get the ball back more. Like, we just know that we have a lot of work to do, and we're not where we want to be yet. Yes, we improved over the years, but we just need to keep getting better every day.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are looking to bounce back after their 119-109 loss against the Celtics on Wednesday and are looking to improve to 2-0 against the Chicago Bulls this season. However, they will be without Chet Holmgren, who was ruled out earlier today due to a bruised hip. Tip-off will be tonight at 7.
Staying in the NBA, former OU point guard and Pelicans rookie Jeremiah Fears faced the top team in the East, the Detroit Pistons, last night. Fears scored 13 to go with the team-high 6 assists in the 129-108 loss. New Orleans back in action tonight versus the Toronto Raptors. Buddy Hield and the Atlanta Hawks take on the Boston Celtics tonight at 6:30, with Austin Reeves and his Lakers also hosting the Brooklyn Nets tonight at 9:30.
OU Track and Field is currently competing at the Raleigh Relays in North Carolina, and I had the opportunity to talk with some of them on Sooner Sports Pad earlier this week, where they told me how difficult it is to balance being a student athlete.
Physically, I'm trashed even right now, but yeah, just staying disciplined. I would say it's time management in terms of mental, just setting your priorities straight.
We definitely have to make a lot of sacrifices, and there's a lot of things that normal students can do that we just can't. And so, you know, whether it's our diet or like having to go to sleep early, we definitely just have to make sacrifices.
Some big Oklahoma high school football coaching news today. Former Sooners linebacker Eric Stryker joining the Bartlesville Bruins staff as their outside linebackers coach. Stryker briefly spent time in the NFL with the Buffalo Bills as well as in the Canadian Football League.
And breaking news, according to Sooner Scoop's Bob Prisbolo, OU men's basketball guard Dayton Forsyth underwent ankle surgery on Wednesday, and will not be available for the Crown Tournament next week in Las Vegas. Now that's all the time we have today for Big Friday Sports. For Hunter Cornejo, I'm Chris Holman.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. Be sure to enjoy one of the best sports weekends of the year with the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight. Good night.